Hello, welcome to your Reset Reflections. I've been toying with what it is I could speak to this week that could possibly be supportive of where you are in your life and whatever you're grappling with. And I invite you, as you're listening, to take whatever I speak to and reflect from my own experience of life and conversations I've been having of late with people like yourself, and perhaps apply them to yourself so that you get as specific as possible. And the reason I say this is because when it's just simply a listening, we often stop at just the listening and begin to go into a rational mind kind of thinking. And if it just stays on the rational and we don't take a moment to apply it to ourselves, then it won't be as powerful for you. Obviously, if what I say doesn't resonate, you probably won't do that. And that's okay too. So I thought it would be useful to share something that you may or may not be aware of, or may have forgotten, or may not have been applying to your own life as of late. But it can be quite powerful to speak to this very one aspect of the human mind. And just as a reminder, when I speak to the human mind, I'm not speaking to the brain. The brain is inside of our head, which is attached to our bodies. So when I speak to the brain, I'm speaking to the body. So, the human mind. Now, there are many things I could speak to about the human mind. But today in particular, I'm going to speak to the function of one of the tendencies of the human mind, which is to focus on what is not. And it's just doing its job. It's just trying to keep us safe. And so, as human beings, we're not only aware that we're having thoughts, we're not only aware that we're experiencing emotions and physical sensations, but we're actually able to reflect on that is unfolding. And that's quite unique to the human being, this ability to reflect on one's own experience. And in particular, the reason I'm choosing to focus on this is because this week there's a holiday that not everybody celebrates and not everybody considers it should be a holiday, but I don't want to take that route. Growing up, I grew up in the United States, and I'm one of 5 children, middle child, and one of my favorite holidays happened to be Thanksgiving. And what I remember enjoying about this holiday was that there was no hustle and bustle around having to buy gifts. There was no stress in the household around financial matters. It was just simply a moment to come around the table and be with people within the family, people that we love, to simply say thank you. Thank you for all that is. And because the human mind tends to focus on what is not, or what is that it thinks it should not be, it's so easy in our daily lives to really get lost in the wave of what's not, which is just a fruit of the functioning of one aspect of our being. And I have found it to be extremely supportive, especially when I'm in challenged times, to just take a moment to take a seat, to lie down, to close my eyes, and just walk through some of the things that I'm relating to as a given. Now, in reality, we all know that nothing is a given. And there's so many aspects of our daily life that we take for granted. Some call these first world problems. And there's something that happens when we really focus all of our attention and energy and awareness on what is, to support us in resetting and coming back to center and feeling a sense of connection. Now, I could take this direction on conversation on connection in many directions, but I'm going to stay very focused here on feeling connected to what is and having a sense of, wow, look at all that is, and being in a sense in a place of awe at all that is. One thing that is, for every single one of you listening, is that you're alive. You have a beating heart. You have lungs. You have your internal organs. And all of these organs are located within your body. And taking a moment to come to your body and listen to your body from your body. And even with your eyes open, just, looking at your hands and saying, wow, I have hands. It's not a given. I have arms. I have a breath. And you start there. You start with the body. You start being grateful just for the simple aspects of I'm alive. My heart is beating. And as you really begin to scan your body, and within your reset, you'll find body scans. And these body scans I have found, and listening to people who make use of them, that they really bring them back to a place of just being with all as is and being grateful. And when we come to all as is, it's like we're retraining the mind to pause from the focus of what we're working on. I'm not suggesting that we shouldn't work on things, but there's something beautiful about coming to balance on, even if there's moments when we're working on some aspect of our lives, some aspect of our relationships, whether it's to ourselves or someone else, to the world. Balancing that out with also taking time to focus on what is. And what is that it is such an honor to be a human being and to be alive and to live this life. And wherever our attention goes, that's what will grow in the garden of our life. Now, if you're a visual person, which I am, I find it helpful to take paper to pen. Just take a moment. It may not be on a daily basis. It could be on a weekly basis. Just a moment for reflection, to focus on what is. So it balances out that what's not tendency of the human mind. And when I focus on what is, I notice that my energy grounds more down into the body. So that it's just not mental concept. It's not just positive thinking. Nothing wrong with positive thinking. But there is a power of coming from what is and embodying what is, and in being in awe of what is. I'm sure you've known people that have been challenged with health difficulties and how quickly they come to this place of being appreciative for what is, because it's not a given. And we don't have to wait for lack of ease. We don't have to wait for challenges to take moments to balance out and take a moment to focus on what is. So much of what is today for you in your life, you've worked very hard to get there. Or you've worked very hard to undo something that has been running your life for very long. So when you take a moment to reflect on what is, you take a moment to ground in the body, you ground into the intelligence that's always within the body and always ready there to support us. You can then lean into what that is for you. Your incredible opportunity to be alive in this life and what it is you would like to cultivate more of. What you would like to see grow. And it requires energy and attention on coming back to connecting into the wholeness of who you are as a human being. And that your life isn't a given. And what a beautiful opportunity it is to be alive. Challenging at moments for sure. There's so much beauty that we can focus on. There's so much awe to be experienced for all that is. So, this week in particular, perhaps you'll take this reflection and apply it to your own life. And scan the body and just be grateful for the tiny little aspects of your functioning body that happen behind the scenes all the time. You don't even need to be paying attention. It just goes. It's like switching from automatic gear and driving manual. And bringing attention to detail. What is, and how incredible it is that it is. I am alive, and I have this amazing opportunity to live this life. It's quite humbling. And support yourself, support the ones you love, and being grateful for all that is. Have a beautiful week. And as you go about enjoying your week, if you find that this conversation resonated with you, feel free to share it. Feel free to follow this podcast. Feel free to put a like so that more people find out about it, have access to it. And I'll be extremely grateful. So thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being willing to take a moment to reflect, to pause, and to be good to yourself. Because it'll contribute to the world in and of itself. We do not live in isolation, and every choice we make has a domino impact on the rest of the world. So thank you for taking a moment to pause and listen and reflect for yourself, and take a moment just to be in awe of your life.